Hey, welcome to the practice. We are going to be starting today seated. So if you're not already there, just go ahead and find yourself in a seated position. Find some length and extension through the spine, lift the chest, pull the shoulders back, relax shoulders down away from the ears, and gently, slowly close down the eyes. Let's just start to see if we can bring our awareness, our focus, our attention here fully into this moment, pulling it into this space, this room that you're in. Bringing here into and onto this mat, into this practice. Awareness into the body, awareness into the breath, and awareness here now in this moment. And as you've allowed yourself here to arrive, can you take the time and just start to notice? What does it feel like within your body? Maybe noticing if there's parts of the body that feel a little sore, tight, tender, any parts of the body that may need a little bit more attention here today. Slowly noticing, maybe starting at the top of the head and gently working your awareness down through your face and down through your neck, down through your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers. And bringing this awareness down through your chest, your torso, your back. And checking in, bringing your awareness down through your hips and your pelvis. And scanning down, feeling down through your legs, all the way down through your feet and your toes. And just checking in. The practice that we have set up for today is going to be slow. It's going to be gentle. It's really going to be about nurturing the body, nurturing and really accepting where it is that you're at today. And can we allow ourselves to come to a place where we can drop into this full acceptance? And sometimes accepting just means really just being okay with wherever it is that you're at. Maybe today you're going to be feeling sore or tight. Maybe the body's not uh, showing up in a strong way or what you perceive to be strong. And we allow ourselves to really honor it where it's at, knowing that you can modify, you can skip, you can adjust along the way. So let's keep that in mind as we start to explore, allowing the practice to be gentle, allowing the practice to be slow, allowing the practice to be mindful, allowing the practice to be nurturing. And as you take your next breath in, raise both arms up to the sky and keep the arms lifted here. And interlock the hands and turn your palms to face the ceiling. And then just see if you can start to extend and reach the arms up a little bit higher. And as the arms are reaching up, can you also try to pull them back a bit? And then as you're here, just keep that length and extension through the spine, like you're lifting up through the waist. And keeping the eyes closed, keeping the breath deep, and just noticing, feeling. Can you breathe in so fully that it's as if you're sending your breath from your sit bones all the way up your spine, all the way up through your neck, through the crown of the head, up through the arms, and up through the hands, like you're pulling that breath all the way up into the sky. And as you're breathing out, can you imagine as if that breath is pulling down from the hands, all the way down through the arms, the head, all the way down through the torso, down through your sit bones, and down into the earth? So we're going to pause here for a bit. We're staying. You may start to notice this bit of a challenge of just keeping the arms lifted. And that's going to be part of the point. Can we stay in it? Can we breathe through it? Can we connect to something bigger than just the pain or the discomfort that we may be feeling within the arms? Can we also begin to realize that there's a lot more here? There's more happening at the same time. In a practice like this, where we begin to stay, there's a deeper lesson that is showing up here. And the deeper lesson is there's more than just one thing. Okay, so we can bring all of our awareness into the discomfort that may be happening here in the arms and allow ourselves to get overpowered by that. Or we can take another route and we can allow our awareness to expand beyond the discomfort of the arms and notice what else is happening here at the same time. We can feel and drop into the power, the strength of our arms and of our body and of our mind. We can drop into the power of the breath. We can allow ourselves to really drop into this deeper knowing that as we start to slow down and find calmness here within the breath, it can help create calmness here within the mind and within the body. And what you may start to notice as you stay here is some of that discomfort that you may be holding in the arms. It start to lighten as soon as the mind starts to drop its story behind it. So we stay, we feel, we breathe. And again, the discomfort of the arms may be loud. I'm aware of that. But how can we allow ourselves to look beyond that, to feel beyond that? Again, imagining as you're breathing in, you're sending that energy, that breath all the way up the body, all the way through the arms, all the way out and through to the sky. And as you breathe out, it's as if that breath is moving its way all the way down through the body, all the way down into the earth. So we can use our imagination here as a way, as if we're pulling in more energy, more strength, more awareness, more breath. I'm going to allow your focus to go beyond just the arms. What else is happening here? Maybe you can allow this pose, this challenge, a reminder of how strong you are, how powerful you are. You have 20 seconds. Maybe the body is responding here with some shaking. And you still stay, and you still breathe. And you still find calmness of the breath and allow that calmness of the breath to circulate and to move through the entire body. Again, how is the body responding? We're almost there, just a few more seconds. Together, let's take a big breath in through the nose all the way up to the top. And you're going to hold the breath at the top, all the way up, 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 and hold that breath. Hold it. You're going to hold it for 5. In 4 seconds, we're going to slowly release the arms down with an exhale. In 3, in 2, and 1, slowly exhale. Let the arms relax and release all the way down into your lap. And just pause here and notice. Let the breath be soft and gentle. And can you start to feel what's going on within the arms? All of a sudden, it feels as if there's just this rush of waterfalling energy that's moving down through the arms. Just feel into that. Maybe it feels a little tingly. Just notice. And starting to notice these shifts. How does it feel within the body? As you take your next breath in, once again, we'll raise the arms back up. I'm not going to make you hold it this time. As you exhale, take a twist to the right. Right hand goes behind you. Left hand goes over to the right leg. Stay, breathe, feel. Soften through the shoulders. Deepen through the breath. Lengthen through the spine. And an invitation here to close down the eyes. And just allow your focus, your attention to go a little bit deeper. What's happening within? What does it feel like to be you? Ideally, getting this place where we're able to drop deeper into a sense of feeling without creating a storyline behind it or a narrative. It's funny, how often do we do that? And we become aware of that. It's as if the mind becomes a narrative to what's happening around us. What if we were to let that go and just let ourselves just be in it, feel through it? Inhale back to center, both arms rise. And exhale, take that twist over to the left. Looking over your left shoulder, maybe closing down the eyes. And then again, bringing this deeper awareness into the body. And you soften the shoulders, and you soften the face. And we're just noticing how often we tend to hold tension without even being aware of it. So as I ask you to bring awareness to certain parts of the body, just noticing, are you tensing? Are you holding? Are you tightening? Are you crunching? Are you collapsing? Where can you be extending? Where can you be expanding? Where can you be opening? Where can you be softening? Where can you be relaxing? Inhale back to center, both arms rise. And as you exhale, we're going to bring our way into all fours. Hands and knees. Position the hands underneath the shoulders. Position the knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers wide. As you inhale, cow pose, chest up, butt up, look forward. And as you exhale, round and tuck, curl the spine, chin to chest, upper back rounds. We'll do a few of these. Inhale, cow pose, chest up, butt up, look forward. Exhale, round and tuck, curl the spine, chin to chest, upper back rounds. Again, inhale, cow pose, chest up, butt up, look forward. Exhale, round and tuck, curl the spine, chin to chest, upper back rounds. And one more. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Stay in cat pose here for a moment. Press through so much with the hands that you feel the upper back spreading wider. At the same time, pull the chin closer to the chest and feel the back of the neck stretch. Really feeling into that upper back, like you're trying to pull your upper back towards the ceiling. And then breathe in so fully here that you feel as if the upper back is expanding as you breathe in more fully. As you exhale, work your way into a flat spine. So finding a flat back and then extending the right leg all the way back. We're going to keep the right leg lifted, but turn the right toes to point down to the floor. That's going to square the hips off towards the ground. Press through with the hands so you're not collapsing into the shoulders. And then take your left arm and start to extend it forward. Notice here, there's going to be maybe a little shift of the balance. So finding your stability. Good. You're going to keep the left arm straight, keep the right leg straight. As you exhale, tap to the floor. And as you inhale, rise. With the breath, exhale, tap. Inhale, rise. Exhale, tap. Inhale, rise. Two more. Exhale, tap. Inhale, rise. Last one. Exhale, tap. Inhale, rise. Keep the right foot lifted. Release the left hand down. Turn the right toes open to the right, and then straight right leg, you're going to lower it down to the floor. Just notice where you are on your mat. So if your right foot's off the mat, just go ahead and scoot yourself forward a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and raise the right arm up to the sky. The arms are stacked, the chest is open. You're grounding down with that back foot. That's going to keep you a bit more stable here. And then reach the right arm forward. As the right arm is reaching forward, feel that length that goes all the way from the pinky side edge of the right foot all the way through the fingertips of the right hand. And then right arm's going to circle down and all the way around, big circles. And then take the right arm, start to circle it the opposite way, again, all the way around. Next time it's up, keep it up. Good. Now I want you to ground down with that right foot. You're going to take your left foot, and I just want you to extend it all the way out to the left. Reach that right arm forward, raise the hips a little bit higher. So all of a sudden, this is going to be a bit of a challenge here. If you need to modify, you can always bring that right hand to the floor. With the right hand can stay off the ground, keep it off the ground. More length through the right side of the body. If the right hand is off the floor, release it back down, and then lower the hips down to the floor. You're going to notice here the left leg is still out to the right. The right leg is straight back behind you. Walk your hands over towards the left. What you may start to notice here is a big twist happening within the spine. You may even notice that as we're in this twist from this position, it's a little bit more challenging to breathe. Okay, so it just means you got to bring a little bit more awareness into the breath. Can the breath still be long, full, expansive? Again, taking the time here to really notice where are you feeling this within the body? What sensations are showing up? Good. Now we're going to walk our hands until they're between the legs and just go ahead and sit up tall. Once your hands are between the legs and you're sitting up tall, take your legs, see if you can spread them out a little bit wider. How wide can the legs go? Good. Now we're going to rotate our chest to point towards your right leg and then start to fold forward into your right leg. Let the head bow, let the shoulders relax. A reminder here, start checking in with the body. Where are you tensing, holding, tightening? Where could you be softening, relaxing, releasing? We tend to hold a lot of tension in the face. You notice that. And you soften the face. You relax the mouth, the lips, the jaw. And what about the shoulders? Can you soften the shoulders, the arms? Again, noticing the breath as you're here. Can you slow it down? And you expand it. Can you feel the breath moving through the body? So just keep on trying to redirect your awareness into feeling versus thinking. Again, feel into the breath, feel into the body, feel into the sensation that is showing up here within the body. You're going to keep the chest low, but start to walk your hands all the way towards that left leg. Take the time to square the chest off towards the left leg and then fold forward into the left leg. Soften through the head, deepen through the breath, relax through the shoulders, soften through the face. Explore that deeper breath. Good. Now the hands are going to come between the legs. And now, how far forward can you walk the hands? Letting your head bow, maybe lowering down to your forearms, maybe lowering all the way down to your chest. Again, big, deep, full breaths here. And how does the breath help support you here within the pose? You may notice that as you breathe in a bit more fully, it's as if the breath moves through the body to help expand the body, helps open the body a bit more. And as you breathe out more fully, ideally it creates this deeper sense of relaxation, the sense of softening, the sense of release, and even relief. The breath here has an influence with the body and it has an influence with the mind. Again, as we slow down the breath, as we find more calmness, softness, ease with the breath, it translates into safety. The body feels safe, it starts to relax, it starts to release, it starts to open. When the mind feels safe, it doesn't need to be coming up with all of these different conclusions on how to protect it, so it can start to release some of its hold. And ideally, the mind starts to open, the body starts to open. And slowly chest lifts back up. I want you to take that left leg. You're just going to go ahead and let it extend back out to the right. And then your hands are going to come towards the front of the mat. Raise the hips back up. And then step the feet back to plank pose. We're going to stay here in plank pose, dropping into your strength. Okay, pressing through with the hands, arms are long, belly's tight, legs are engaged. It's going to be another one of those poses where I'm going to ask you to challenge yourself a little bit. And we stay in this. If you need to modify, maybe lower down one knee instead of both knees. And can you stay? Can you breathe? Can you feel? And you may notice here, when things start to become more challenging, the mind starts to talk louder. Okay, so our goal here is, can we slow down the breath? Can we find calmness within the breath so we can start to release some of the loudness of the mind? When we're able to calm down the mind, it's like we're able to step in from a different place and use the mind as a tool. And we can use the mind as a way here, just remind ourselves, even say to ourselves within our mind that you got this, you're strong, you're powerful, you're committed, you can do this. We stay, we breathe, we feel. 10 more seconds, that's it. Keep pressing through with the hands, so you're not collapsing into the shoulders. Keep the breath slow. Again, change the thought patterns. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Release the knees down to the floor. Spread the knees out as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes together to touch. Push the hips back towards the heels. Extend your arms forward and relax your forehead down towards the ground. Pausing here in child's pose. As you're here in child's pose, once you find this length from your fingertips through your sit bones, soften into it. Let go of the work. Let go of the effort. Let yourself just arrive here at the pose.
And as you allow yourself to arrive here, you can release the effort and just connect and notice. What does it feel like to breathe here? What does it feel like to breathe a bit deeper here? What does it feel like for the breath to move through the body? What does it feel like to be you? Again, constantly coming back to this reminder to feel into it without creating a storyline, without being in a narrative, without creating an identity behind it, or even creating this meaning behind it. Just let yourself be in it. Interlock the hands together. Bend the elbows, bring your hands towards the back of the head. Now, maybe see if you can crawl the elbows forward a little bit more, let the chest drop a little bit deeper. Breathe in a bit more fully. And once again, reminder, just feel into the body. What's opening here? What's releasing? When we get so caught up with the thinking of the mind, it distracts us from a lot of things that are actually happening here in the moment. Okay, so instead of being in the thoughts, be in the body right now. What does it feel like in this position? What does it feel like to show up with awareness, to show up more fully? Maybe we can even start to notice how often we do that in life. Are we able to show up fully where we're at? Or are we constantly distracted? Or are we constantly pulled into the mind or distractions that are around us? The more that we practice this, the more that we show up here on the mat and start to work with that, the more it starts to sneak into our life. We can start to notice when we're like, oh, wait, I'm getting caught up in the thinking of the mind. I'm not paying attention to the moment that's in front of me. And then we just redirect our awareness back into the moment. That's the bigger practice that's happening here. Extend the arms forward. And then gently shift yourself forward to all fours, hands and knees. Again, the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. A few cat and cow stretches here. Inhale, cow pose, chest up, butt up, look forward. Exhale, round and tuck, curl the spine, chin to chest, upper back rounds. Again, inhale, cow pose, chest up, butt up, look forward. Exhale, round and tuck, curl the spine. One more. Inhale, cow pose, chest up, butt up, look forward. And exhale, round and tuck, curl the spine. From here, find a flat back. Take the left leg, extend it all the way back. Reach the right arm all the way forward. You're going to keep the arm and the leg both straight. Exhale, tap to the floor. Inhale, rise, connecting to the breath. The exhale lowers you. The inhale lifts you. Again, exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. One more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Keep the left leg lifted. Release the right hand down. Turn your left toes open to the left. And then straight left leg is going to lower down behind you. Left foot flat to the mat. Again, take time to notice. If the left foot is not flat to the mat, maybe sneak forward a little bit. You want the left foot on the mat, flat to the ground, and then raise the left arm to the sky. You'll notice here that ideally the arms are stacked. Reach your left arm forward, 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 and feel that length here through the left side of the body. Then left arm is going to circle down and all the way around, big circles. And circle the left arm the opposite direction, get all the way around. Next time left arm is up, keep it up. If you already know that you need to modify this next round, you can already release the left hand to the floor. If you want to play with it here with me, the right leg is going to extend out to the left. Again, you can do all of this with the left hand on or off the floor. The left hand is off the floor, extend it forward. Pose is called fallen triangle. It does take a little bit of strength here. If the left hand is lifted, lower it back down to the ground. Then release the bum down to the ground, so the butt's down to the floor. Walk your hands over towards the right, feeling into that twist. Again, that That reminder here, as we're in this twist, you may feel that it's a bit more challenging to breathe, or at least to breathe fully. So just bring more awareness into the breath. Let the breath become a little bit longer. Good. Now go ahead and walk your hands so they're between the legs. And then once the hands are between the legs, can you take your legs and spread them open a little bit wider? I'm just going to go ahead and turn here so I can still face the camera. But the legs are going to be extended out wide, and then start to fold forward between the legs. Again, soften through the head, relax through the face, deepen through the breath. Can you stay aware of the breath here the entire time? Again, what happens on the breath in, feel the expansion that is created throughout the body as if you're sending the breath to the entire body, as if the entire body is breathing in with you, expanding. And as you breathe out, you maybe start to feel the entire body as it starts to relax, it starts to soften. And you may start to notice here, just by bringing awareness into the breath, it naturally starts to lengthen. It naturally starts to soften. And as we have awareness into the breath, you may start to feel the body as it starts to respond to the breath. Just as the breath starts to soften, the body starts to soften. It starts to relax. It starts to release some of its hold. In a lot of ways, it's just a nervous system reaction. As we learn to regulate or find calmness within the nervous system, the body responds to that. And the body will start to relax automatically when we start to calm down our nerves, when we calm down the nervous system, when we regulate the nervous system. And again, when we have a regulated nervous system, the mind or the thinking of the mind start to release as well. And it makes it a whole lot easier for us to really hear into the thought patterns and to even come to a place where we're able to change our thinking, to change our thoughts. Can you relax the head? Can you deepen the breath? And can you even maybe explore going a little bit deeper? What's that look like for you? Maybe dropping the head, maybe making a pillow out of the arms to relax the head on. Again, where can you let go? Along the way, again, notice, are you fighting? Are you pushing? Are you demanding here? Can you let that soften? What would this pose look like if you allowed yourself to just kind of like fall into it, to soften into it instead of push your way into it or to fight your way into it? Maybe closing down the eyes, bringing your awareness deeper within. What does it feel like to be you? What does it feel like within the breath? What does it feel like within the body? And again, you may start to notice when we drop deeper into this place of feeling, the mind isn't as controlling. The mind can start to soften. Let's slowly lift the chest back up. Good. Once again, we're going to take that front leg, bring it out to the side, and then walk our hands towards the front of the mat, lifting the hips up and then stepping the feet back to plank pose. This will be our last kind of strength challenge throughout this practice. Pausing here in plank with the arms straight, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists are stacked, the belly's tight. Again, if you need to modify, maybe consider going down to just one knee instead of both knees. Can you bring your awareness more focused into your breath? Again, let the breath be slow. Let it be gentle. Let it be full. And again, can you allow yourself to drop into the mind and to use that mind as a tool? Okay? So we can start creating our own kind of mantras here. A mantra is basically a tool that we use to change the thinking patterns of the mind. It's like we're allowing ourselves to give ourselves this bit of a inner cheerleader in a way, just reminding yourself that you got this. And saying something like, I can, I am, I'm powerful, I'm strong. And as we allow ourselves to continually say that within the mind, we may notice we can hold the pose a lot longer, slowing down the breath to create a sense of calmness and ease, using that mind as a tool. I got this. I'm powerful. I'm strong. I can do this. Giving yourself these reminders. You have 10 more seconds. Maybe the body is responding with a little bit of shaking or a bit of a challenge. You can stay in this. Keep the breath going. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the knees back down to the floor. Good. Sit your butt back towards the heels. Bring your hands onto your thighs and sit up straight. Good. So the arms may have been working a little bit. So just take the arms, just let them shake out. Shake them out. Shaking out through the arms, the shoulders, the hands, the fingers. And then let the hands rest onto your lap. And just notice. Close down the eyes. You feel deeper within the body. You may feel in this moment the body feels a little bit more alive, even a bit lighter, a bit floaty, maybe a bit tingly. Just feel it. Feel into it. What does it feel like to connect deeper into your body? What does it feel like to drop more into feeling and sensation versus the thinking, versus the mind? Using feeling to keep us present, to keep us here. Slow down the breath. Feel deeper. And slowly lift the butt off the heels. Knees, we're going to spread those out about hip width apart and tuck your toes. Bring your hands onto your hips. Pull the elbows back towards each other. Let the hips, the pelvis thrust forward. Lift and extend the torso high and start to arch back a bit. As you're arching back here, a few things to keep in mind here. We're stretching out through the belly. As the hips keep pulling forward, you may be able to feel that stretch through the front of the thighs. And as the shoulder blades start to squeeze together and the chest starts to lift towards the sky, you may be able to feel the stretch go deeper into the chest and even into the front part of the shoulders. Try to keep the neck long here. So we're not necessarily compressing the back of the neck. You can choose to keep the hands on the hips or maybe even bring the hands to the heels. Again, keep pushing the hips forward. Keep lifting the chest to the sky. Keep the neck long. Keep the breath deep. Few more deeper breaths here. If your hands are on your heels, slowly bring them back to your hips. Release the tuck of the toes. And let's go ahead and work our way back to all fours. Hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take your right arm, and I want you to raise it all the way up to the sky. Up, 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 up. And the right arm, we're going to cross it all the way underneath the left arm. I want you to come all the way down towards your right shoulder and your right ear. So ideally here, the chest is trying to spin open towards the left of the room. The breath is still deep and full. Every breath out, maybe start to notice the body start to soften a little bit more. What can we let go of here? Maybe there's a thought that we've been holding on to. In the exhale, what would it feel like to release that thought? Maybe there's something constant that keeps on showing up within your mind. What would it feel like to let that go? What would it feel like to let that go? Even if it's just for this moment, even if it's just to notice what things could be like without that thought. And press down with the left hand, raise the right arm back up to the sky. And then right hand's going to come back down to all fours, hands and knees. And raise your left arm up to the sky. And left arm is going to go underneath the right arm, bring all the way down towards left shoulder, the left ear, laying the chest, but open more actively towards the right. And again, we stay here, we breathe here. And again, if the mind starts to drop in here, it starts to take over, what would it be like to just let that thought go? To not fall into it, to not get pulled into it. And what I mean by getting pulled into a thought is sometimes this thought will show up, and then all of a sudden we start to explore it. We start to get pulled into it. We start to create meaning behind it, or identity behind it, story behind it. So it starts to expand, it starts to get a bigger life. Instead, what would it be like to allow that thought to come in and just allow it to pass by like a cloud on the sky, not attaching to it, just letting it go. And we keep directing ourselves back into the feeling. What does it feel like to be here? What does it feel like to open the body? And again, the more that we allow ourselves to really drop into that within this practice, the easier it will be to be able to bring that same aspect into life. And we start to become more present with life. And we start to show up more fully. Let's raise the left arm back up to the sky. And then back to all fours. Take the knees, spread them out as wide as the mat. Big toes together to touch. Push the hips back towards the heels. Extend the arms forward. Relax the forehead down towards the ground. Again, once you have that length, can you soften into it? And then can you bring your focus deeper into the breath? Bigger, deeper, longer. Feel the breath help expand the body just by breathing. What changes as you take bigger breaths? What naturally opens? What naturally releases? Slowly walk your hands over towards the right. The hands can walk off the mat. You may start to notice here this creates a little bit more length through the left side of the body. So the stretch goes a little bit deeper to the left side. And take your hands, you're going to walk them over towards the left. And hands walk back center. Shift yourself back forward to all fours. And then release yourself onto your butt. Extend both legs forward. Once both legs are extended forward, just go ahead and give the legs a bit of a shake. Now, I want you to take your right leg. I'm just going to go ahead and go ahead and bring it back behind you. So there's a bend of the right knee, right ankle's back behind you. What this is going to do is going to actually give a little bit of a stretch there throughout the right thigh, the front of the right leg. And then as you're here, let's square the chest off towards the left leg and then begin to fold forward into the left leg. And then you're also going to notice here as we start to fold forward or bow into that left leg, the stretch goes deeper into the left leg, the back of the thigh, the hamstring, and into the calf. And as you start to soften the upper body, you maybe start to notice that this gives us a bit of a stretch here throughout the spine and even into the back of the head, the neck, letting the head relax. And then we just bring our attention into our breath. Let your focus be just taking bigger, deeper breaths, relaxed and calm, extended. And then you just feel, what does the body feel like as you breathe in? What does the body feel like as you breathe out? How do things start to shift and change and open on their own just by bringing attention into the breath, into the body? Then we start to notice, which is such a beautiful realization when it really sinks in, is just by bringing awareness and focus into the breath and the body starts to open for you. You don't have to force it. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to push it. You let your awareness go into the breath and into the body, and it naturally starts to open. It naturally starts to release. And it becomes such a beautiful unfolding where it's less about the work and the effort. And it's really more about the releasing, the letting go, the surrendering. And I think that may be really the hardest lesson within the practice is this aspect of surrendering, this learning to let go and soften and trust that the letting go and softening is actually what opens up the body. I think a lot of us are, I know I am, a lot of us have been so kind of ingrained in our mind that we have to force it and fight it and work really hard to get anywhere. And the yoga practice can teach us the opposite of that in a way. Teach us that as we show up, that is enough. As we allow ourselves to be present, that is enough. And if we trust that presence, we trust that showing up, that being here, then that will be what leads us into the opening, the releasing. We can actually go a little bit further just by letting go. And slowly let the chest rise. Good. And then you're just going to go ahead and walk the hands back. Not a lot, a little bit. Just staying there on the hands, leaning back slightly. You may be able to feel that stretch go a little bit deeper on that front thigh. Again, what would it feel like here to take things a little bit softer? To relax into this and start to feel the body naturally open without having to force it or fight it. Good. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg back forward. Go ahead and give it a little bit of a shake. And then we'll take that left leg and start to extend it back. Left knee's bent. And take the time here to square the chest off towards the right leg and then begin to fold forward into the right leg. Again, as we're here, can we start to let go of the pushing, the fighting, the demanding, the controlling? And all of that is a hard energy. And we let go of the force of that and allow ourselves to drop into something softer, something a bit more gentle, something a bit more relaxed. And allowing this sense of gentleness and relaxation to create a sense of safety When the body feels safe, the body will naturally open. Just notice that. When you really drop into it and you're really able to feel that without the pushing or the fighting, it's as if the body, if you can think of the analogy of like a flower, it naturally starts to open, naturally starts to bloom. You're able to naturally go further and farther without forcing or fighting. And there's something about that that really feels so beautiful when you allow yourself to be so fully present to it. You let yourself just really notice it. And when we're caught up in the mind and the thinking and the thoughts, it's really hard to notice these things. We're asking, we're asking to go a little bit deeper, to go deeper within, to feel more. What would it feel like for the breath to become a little bit longer? What would it feel like to breathe into the entire body? And slowly let the chest rest. Once the chest is lifted, you're just going to take the hands, just walk them back a bit. Yeah, you're leaning back slightly. And ideally, as you're letting the upper body just kind of relax back onto the hands, you are ideally feeling a deeper stretch that is showing up here on the left thigh. And then we'll sit up straight again. Let both legs extend forward and just go ahead and gently shake out the legs here. And then let's go ahead and meet on our back. Just going to go ahead and lie down. You can bring both knees into your chest as you're there and take a few bigger, deeper breaths, allowing that breath to expand throughout the spine, the side of the spine, the length of the back. And keep your right knee in, extend the left leg forward. Open the right arm out to the right, and then take your right leg over to the left for a twist. As the right leg goes over to the left, can you keep the back of the shoulders on the floor? And right knee comes back into the chest. Give it a little squeeze. You keep the right knee in, also bring the left knee in as well. So both knees are in. Left leg stays in, extend the right leg forward. And let the left arm open out to the left. And then left leg goes over to the right for a twist. And again, we'll try to keep the back of the shoulders on the floor, letting that left leg just kind of drop over to the right while you're still to keep the back of the shoulders on the floor and keep the chest pointing towards the sky. And then direct your focus, your awareness into the breath, letting the breath become a little bit longer. And then left knee comes back into the chest. Also right knee to the chest. And then once you take both legs, you're going to raise them up to the sky. Stay here with the ankles, the knees, and the hips stacked. To keep this pose a little bit more passive, a little bit easier, you can always keep your hands on your legs, just to kind of keep them there, keep them up. Or you can always just release the arms down towards the floor, letting the arms relax a little bit more. And as the legs are lifted, you may start to notice here, it makes it easier to keep the lower back on the ground. And ideally, it helps create this deeper sense of relaxation and ease throughout the spine, throughout the lower back. Ideally, this pose that we're in is a bit of a calming pose. So ideally, as you're here in this position, the body starts to relax a little bit deeper. Yeah, start to bend the knees and release the feet down to the floor. We'll keep the feet together, but spread the knees open wide. So feet together, knees wide, and just allow the arms to just relax down towards the floor and turn the palms to face up. Letting gravity take its way over on the legs so nothing needs to be pushed or demanded from you. Just let yourself be here and notice. And what would it feel like for you right now to breathe into the entire body? And you start just by imagining that. So if you're breathing into the entire body, and as you're breathing out, feeling the entire body just soften. And then let's slowly roll over to the right, coming into a fetal position. As you're here, just allowing your head to relax onto that bottom arm. And once again, this reminder to soften into this, to relax through the shoulders, the head, the arms, the hands, the fingers, the face. And gently, slowly, just come into a seated pose. So you start to sit your way up and coming into a cross-leg position. So part of our practice here today is going to be a meditation. So we're going to be ending our practice here in a little meditation. It's going to be a short one, but as you're here, find the length and extension through the spine. Let the hands rest nice and comfortably in the lap, and close down the eyes. And again, start to redirect all of your focus and all of your attention here right now into this room, onto this mat, into the breath, and into the body. You may notice it's a lot easier to arrive here now. The body's more open, the mind is more open. And when we're more relaxed, when we're more open, it's a whole lot easier to be present. So all we're doing is we're just bringing ourselves to a place of presence, a place of awareness. And as we're here, can we just notice what shows up here? So we just notice what it feels like to be here. Right now, in this moment, you are seated. What does it feel like to just sit here? What does it feel like to sit here with your eyes closed? What does it feel like to sit here with your eyes closed and your breath slow and gentle? And then we notice what else we notice. What does it feel like within the body right now? Is there any resistance that's showing up? Is there any place within the body that you can send a little reminder to soften? Maybe the shoulders are crunching. What would it feel like to soften those?
and to feel this softening work its way all the way down through the arms and the hands and the fingers. What would it feel like to relax the hands a little bit more and let them rest? And as the body starts to relax here, you may start to notice it's easier to feel the breath move through you. And as you're breathing in a bit more fully, can you feel the breath moving into the body? A beautiful thing starts to happen here when you're able to take your awareness just into the breath and into the body, is that when you start to just be with the breath and the body, you start to notice how the body just naturally starts to make its own little adjustments. A lot of times in a meditation practice, what I'll start to notice is when I have my awareness just into the body starts to have its own little chiropractic adjustments. All of a sudden, the spine will have a little crack, or the neck will make its own little bit of adjustment, and the spine will naturally become a little bit longer and more extended. And it's nothing that I'm not pushing for or fighting for or controlling. It's more about I'm relaxing, I'm releasing, I'm letting go. And then the body and the breath starts to create its own adjustments. And that's really what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get out of the way. Let the mind get out of the way, the sense of doing get out of the way. What does it feel like just to be here? Feel the breath move through you. Feel the body responding to the breath. And again, as distractions may start to show up here, can you let them go? Maybe the distraction is something as an outside force. Maybe your phone rings. Maybe there's noise that's happening around you. Maybe there's people around you. What if you were able to just let all of that go and bring your awareness within? The eyes are closed. The focus is in the body. And you just take the time to feel, what is it like to be you? Connecting to the breath, really feeling the breath move through the body. Where does it go? What adjustments naturally happen here just by showing up, just by being present? And anytime you find yourself stuck into a thought or looped in by a distraction, just simply release it, let it go. Use the tool of your breath and sense of feeling to just bring you back here into this moment. And that's your practice. Let's stay here, and I'll let you know when it's time for us to come out. Just a few minutes here. Now that we're more relaxed, more open, it's a lot easier to drop into our senses. And we can redirect our awareness to different things. So as you're here right now in this moment, still sitting here, still relaxed, still soft, still connected to the breath, still with the eyes closed, you start to bring your awareness into your nose and bring your awareness into whatever smell that you can pick up in this moment. So just noticing as you take a breath in, is there anything particular that you're smelling? Just noticing your space. Maybe you can pick up a smell. Maybe you can't smell anything. And just notice. Notice what you notice. Again, no need to create a story or a narrative behind it. Just take in a smell and notice. And you may even start to notice that as you bring your awareness into your nostrils, as if you're trying to smell in something, you automatically breathe in deeper. You just notice that. And how does that deepening of the breath feel within the body? And maybe it can bring an awareness to a sense of, oh, I wasn't fully breathing in before. And you feel the difference, if any. And then can you keep that same breath going, that same length of breath? And then let's bring our awareness into towards our mouth. So our other sense is the sense of taste. So as you're here, maybe take a bit of a swallow. And once again, maybe there's something that you could taste here. Maybe there's no taste sensation, but just notice. What does it feel like when we start to turn on our senses? And then a sense that's a bit easier to connect to is the sense of hearing. So just noticing what it is that you are hearing in this moment, the sound of my voice, the sound of the music, maybe even the sound of your breath, the sound of your environment. Maybe you're somewhere where you can hear nature. How far can you extend and expand your own hearing? What all can you hear in this moment without attaching to it, without creating a meaning behind it? There can be a lot of noises that are coming in at the same time. Are you allowing those noises to affect you, to take you out of this moment? What if they can just be there? They can be background and you can still stay present. You can still stay anchored into this moment. And then we're going to start to bring our awareness into the awareness of touch, of feel. And so I want you to take the time here to bring your palms together, your hands together, and just feeling the connection of your hands. The thumbs pressing into your thumbs, the fingers pressing into the fingers. And then take your hands and start to rub them up and down, forward and back. And as the hands are starting to rub up and down, can you feel that sense of friction within the hands, the sense of heat that is connecting into the hands, into the palms, up and down, forward and back, forward and back. And feeling that sense of heat. And then taking your hands, just go ahead and place them onto your eyes. And as the hands are covering the eyes, just feel that heat onto the eyes. Maybe noticing where else the hands are making contact. Again, what does it feel like to touch here? What does it feel like to bring in the sense of touch, of feeling? And then bringing in this additional aspect of our sensory is the vision. So as the hands are covering your eyes, we just notice what you see in the back of your eyes. What do you see right now in this moment, even with the eyes being covered? Maybe what you notice is just darkness. Maybe you see something else within that darkness. And maybe you don't. You're just noticing whatever it is that you see in the back of the eyes right now. And still keeping your awareness on vision, still keeping your eyes closed, but gently remove the hands from your eyes and just notice the change of what you see on the back of your eyes, the eyelids. Without the hands covering the eyes, how does that change things? And then gently allow the eyes to open and allow yourself to take in your space. Just noticing around you. And as we have more focus, awareness into the eyes, and maybe our other senses are turned on a little bit more, maybe you are able to see a bit differently. Maybe you're able to notice a bit more. And are you automatically going back into thought, into thinking, or can you allow yourself just to be in this openness? You're feeling, you're seeing, you're hearing, maybe you're smelling, you're taking in this moment. Ideally, we're taking this moment a bit more aware, awake, alert, and present. And then ideally, we show up into the world with open eyes, open senses, and open, deeper sense of awareness. We can really just be present without being so much in the mind. So let's take that and bring that into our day. Let's slowly bring your palms back together, thumbs to your chest. Let the head bow forward towards the hands. Taking a moment here, just giving gratitude. So thank yourself for showing up today. Thank the practice. Thank all these beautiful lessons that start to gently work their way in from the practice and ideally into your life. Trusting the process here, leading you through today that has been my honor. The light within me salutes the light within you. Namaste.